Rural Heritage on RFD TV is brought to you by Rural Heritage Magazine, a bi-monthly magazine featuring articles about farming and logging with draft animal power, small-scale diversified family farming and homesteading, and other aspects of our rich rural heritage. Rural Heritage Magazine, borrowing from yesterday to do the work of today. For subscription information, please call 319-362-3027 or order online at www.ruralheritage.com. Hi, I'm Joe Mishka. Welcome to another half hour of Rural Heritage TV. Several weeks ago, we showed part one of our visit with Don Coppa of Little Falls, Minnesota. At the time, I thought we would probably have another 2 more episodes to try and cover most of the pieces in his vintage horse-drawn field equipment collection. I now think it'll take at least 3 more episodes to come close to showing it all. Today we're looking at plows. Don has dozens and dozens of plows, most of which he's used himself after bringing them home and repairing them. It's a lot of fun to look at the different plows, but even more interesting to hear what Don has to say about them.
And now you're going to get bored.
Am I?
Case, 12-inch, original bottom. Case, 16-inch.
Show me where that 16 inches measured. Show me what that means.
From this point right here to this point right here. That's where you measure a plow to get the true measurement. If the shears wore off a little bit, you got to compensate.
So it doesn't refer to the depth of the furrow, it refers to the width of the furrow.
Usually the depth is half of what, if you're plowing, half of the distance. This is a 16 inch, so you'd probably plow about 8 inches deep. You don't have to plow that deep, but that's about the limit of it. That 12 inch would be 6 inches.
So a 16 inch plow is moving an awful lot more dirt than a 12 inch
Absolutely,
plow.
that's why.
A lot more dirt.
But generally a 16 inch I'll put 3 horses on. 12 and 14, 2 horses. All depends what you're plowing, but in this ground here it's sand. That should be ideal plowing here, I'm thinking.
And this is grass.
This is grass, yeah. The alfalfa is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
This is the first case I bought. This is the one I had over to Dad's. So we put a platform on there for him, so he don't accidentally fall through.
Sure.
It's, when you put your pole in the middle, this goes over this pipe.
Ah, okay. So it hugs it.
Yep, you got it.
That's cool.
The manuals on this plow will tell you for 2 horses, put your pole in the middle. But I like them all. I think I got one plow that's set up with the pole in the middle. I like them on the side because when you're going to pull this plow, if you take this and split it in 4 pieces, make a line there, you should be pulling by this point right here. Then you can get your evener and your pole and everything lined up nice and straight. Your wheels running straight in the furrow. It's not pulling crock.
You don't have side draft as much.
Yeah. A lot of guys tell me I'm all washed up on that, but
it works for you.
Proof in the pudding, put it that way.
Right. 1/4 of the way across on the top of the shear.
Yep.
Nice.
And to measure your evener is another very important, not the single trees, but the evener. This is a 12 inch, so I'm going to add 3 and 3 and 3 is 9, and then half the distance of the furrow, another 6. Now double that.
30. That's what you want for your...
That's what you should have for the evener.
Your evener, I mean,
yeah.
The evener,
Yep, the bar, the main bar.
Yep.
Single trees, that will vary. All depends what you're doing and how big your horses are, but that's how I like to line them up. And also, I'll take a 2x4 and set it on edge, and lay it alongside the wheel, and it should just touch the shear really close to it, so you ain't riding the furrow with this wheel. And if you got a crooked furrow, you can straighten it out in a few rounds. And they're all adjustable, every breed is, but that's where you get your adjustment here.
Okay.
Or some of them you can move your wheel in or out too a little bit.
Okay. Sure.
The cases, yeah, this is another case. Wheel on this one is rounded, this one is 14-inch. In this case, I put an extra piece in here for putting your feet on, otherwise that slot is open completely.
Yeah, that's a long way to stick your leg out. Yeah, that's something they should have put in there.
I'm surprised they didn't put something in there. I don't know why, but it's a good plow, really good plow. It pulls easy, turns good.
Hi, I'm Joe Mishka of Rural Heritage Magazine. I'm on location of one of the many events we cover that celebrates our rural heritage. If you enjoy our show, check out our magazine, where you'll learn more about the people that blend the past with what works today. You can save almost 20% off the newsstand price by subscribing at ruralheritage.com or chat with us at 877-647-2452. That's toll-free, 877-647-2452. This a walk behind game
This
plow?
is a 2-bottom 15-inch
Okay.
walking plow.
Wow.
3 horses. The reason this one's painted, we took it up to the World Plowing a couple of years back here. Didn't compete, just demonstrated with the horses.
So with a regular walking plow, you got the 2 handles that come up.
Mm-hmm.
Here you're holding onto these 2 handles?
You don't, on a corner, you'll guide it around.
Otherwise you're just driving the horses.
Yeah, it'll
plow
slide
sets
around,
itself.
but if you want to make a sharp curve or when you're coming into the furrow, you might want to get over 6 inches or 3 inches or whatever. And
Otherwise
that's how
you're
you
just
guide
walking
it.
behind.
Otherwise it's just
you're not
dragging.
holding it.
Yeah, you don't, it's a heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to, and going down the furrow when you're plowing, if you've got a good team, a good furrow horse, that'll stay in that furrow and walk the same spot. Some like to crowd the wall, some like to crowd the plowed ground. But till you figure out where your horse is going to walk, then you can adjust the hitch just for that. Slide it over a few inches, makes a difference on where you're pulling this.
This is pretty rare, right? Right? No?
You probably drive a 5-state area and you wouldn't find another one.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it before.
Yeah.
3 horses.
3 horses.
Whereas if you were sitting on top of it, you might want 4. Yeah.
You usually put that extra horse for if you're riding the plow.
Yeah.
So that's how I came up with this 3-horse business. And this is a Huntsman. Made in Long Prairie. Here's the difference between those plows you asked me before. This is an old style. It's a drag bottom. The bottom actually drags on the heel of the landslide.
Okay. You mean when it's transporting? When you're moving the plow?
When you're
just taking the plow to the field, it's dragging on the
it's
ground.
still dragging.
Okay.
All the time. This one is a carry bottom. You can see the difference.
Yeah.
It's got those extra brackets on there.
Right. Picks it up. Huh. This is a lot of iron. And a lot of length.
in the day, this was a good plow for rocks and stumps and all that.
Well, it's like the
extra.
one you were showing me by the garage.
Yep. That's a Huntsman, just like that.
That was a
one.
one bottom at the
One
garage, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, got that little holder there.
For the whip.
I'm not mean to the horses, but I do like to get their
Safety.
attention.
It's safe.
Sometimes they need a little.
Absolutely. Sometimes the one needs to do its share.
Yeah, exactly. This is John Deere disc plow, not reversible. This is just a straight pull disc plow. And this plow is a John Deere walking plow. That was my grandpa's. You can see it's wore here quite a bit. I got a new mower board for it, but I don't really want to change it yet.
Sure. I understand.
My grandpa plowed with it, my dad, I've plowed with it, my granddaughter plowed with it, so 4 generations.
If you enjoy seeing how our ancestors lived during America's rule yesterday, you're going to love looking at these books. Volume 1 is fieldwork showing horses and vintage tractors preparing seed beds, planting, cultivating, and harvesting the crop. Volume 2 shows the work being done in the barn and farmyard, feeding and watering the livestock, getting the crop into the barn, milking the cows, shearing the sheep, and collecting the eggs. In Volume 3, we go inside the home to see the family in the kitchen canning vegetables, in the parlor listening to the radio, and in the dining room for family supper. We also head into town to shop at the general store or visit on the town square on Saturday night. Each book has over 140 large format pages. They sell for $24.95 each, or you can buy 2 for $44.95, or all 3 for $54.95 plus shipping. Call 1-877-647-2452 to order. That's 1-877-647-2452.
And this is a 8-inch 3-bottom Deere. Again, I've got the chain on this one. If you pull it close, it'll have a tendency to pull the bottoms out of the ground, so stretch them out a little bit, and we've plowed with this one.
And would it have been red when John Deere made it? It would have been, no?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Very possible.
Right.
I don't know.
Everybody
was-
always thinks John Deere is green, but
Yep,
they did make red
no,
implements.
they did a lot of red. Well, a lot of companies had red was a popular color back then. I mean, if somebody calls and asks me what color, if just guessing, I'd say it had red paint on it somewhere.
Anything else, I guess.
I'd say it's probably like a Vineyard plow,
Okay.
where you don't want to plow too deep. You just want to kind of scratch the ground up. So this is a Cockshutt plow out of Canada. 8-inch Cockshutt Kid number 2 is what it is. We've plowed with this one. It's got jointers on the coulters. They're hanging in the shed
Okay.
because that plugged up really bad. We took them off. Comes out of here and goes around. But
And it's got that weird shape.
that's Canadian type
So-
bottom.
And you'd put 2 horses on this.
2 horses, yeah. That
Okay.
really, you're only moving 16 inches of ground and not too deep.
Yeah.
8-inch, so you're probably only going to plow 4 inches deep, roughly. It'll plow a little deeper, but and now we got a few Olivers. They made either 5 or 6 different versions of this plow. Some were wider, some were narrower. This particular one's got that Canadian bottom on. That's what I call them. 8-inch plow.
It's really weird looking when it's up high like that.
I plowed the son-in-law's garden with it one year. He's got 2 gardens, and I plowed it all one way. Took me just about all day to plow that bugger. But it plows good. This is an original 14-inch bottom on this one. Got the custom seat on it.
Right. And it's got a shim where the tongue comes up to the, you've got it
Spacer.
up. Yeah.
If you're going to plow it, again, 2 horses or 3 horses, you might turn it way over here.
Okay.
That's how you adjust the pole on the Oliver plow with the spacers.
I see.
Okay. Like that one right there.
Yeah.
I had to take the spacers out so I could get the pole in line. That's got that little bottom.
Yep.
This is a 12-inch. This is a new style bottom I put on this plow with the throwaway lay. My brother picked that bottom up for me at an auction sale, so I had to put it on something. You can come back over here and it'll bolt right on, same
Yep.
holes, and it's set right.
If plowing a field is a job, half the job is done before you even start by how you set it. You can make your job so hard.
I
doing
can,
it wrong.
you know, I like to tell the guys when they're really not set up right, and some of them take it, and some of them you don't know what you're talking about. But
Right, right.
it's, if they don't want to listen, that's fine. I mean, it's a whole lot easier on the horses if you got that plow set up right.
And if
It
you
pulls
were
easier.
if you were back home plowing with tractors, you wouldn't know, you wouldn't think about it as much
No,
with a tractor plow.
Exactly.
You just pour more gas.
Here's another John Deere 38. This plow, I never tried it. I bought it out in South Dakota, and I reset it here a week ago and brought it out, but I've never plowed with this plow. So keep an eye on it and see if it works or not.
Do you mean to say that you've plowed with most of these?
Most of these I try.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Got to try them, you know, just see if they're. Some are better than others, say.
A day is 24 hours long. I mean, you must have stretched it into 36 or something to get as much done as you get done. The restoration that you're doing and the farming that you're doing, and you're doing it with horses. I mean, that is, you don't watch much TV.
What I can't figure out is when I worked 8 hours a day, came home, harnessed the horses, cleaned the barn, got all that done. Now got all day to mess with this stuff. And I still ain't got enough time. But anyhow.
It's amazing how much you do with the time you have.
Next week, we'll finish with the plows and start looking at some corn planters, cultivators, binders, and some more haymaking machinery.
This program is available for purchase. To order your copy, please call 319-362-3027 or visit www.ruralheritage.com. Rural Heritage is a bi-monthly magazine dedicated to draft animal farming and logging, as well as other aspects of our rich rural heritage. It is published by Mishka Press, which also offers a complete line of back-to-the-land books, DVDs, and calendars. Call or write for a catalog or subscription information, or visit our website at www.ruralheritage.com.